Cái nào thử xong rồi
Để
Đeo luôn đi.
đeo luôn. Cái máy đã live chưa?
Đeo luôn đi.
Đã hôm qua mình có một cái lúc nói chuyện trong đầu cái máy đã live chưa?
Đeo luôn đi.
Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Daisy, and it's my true honor today to be the host of our very first episode of the series Tech Talk. And the topic of today's talk show is dynamic pricing. Shape our businesses. Okay, so before we start, Mr. Phillip, can you reveal a little bit about yourself and what brings you here today?
Yeah, so my name is Philip, and I'm a AI lover. So starting from my journey is when I was a kid, and I developed in mathematics, and that's why
Oh yes, okay. You are so humble, and you just said that you are just an AI lover, right? Okay. So, start right now. Can I just grab a drink before we start? Because I think it's pretty warm. Can I just grab a drink before we start? It's hot too, and I'm hot right now. I think it's pretty warm. Can I just grab a drink? Okay, because like yesterday, Mr. Wang said that right now. Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Daisy, and it's my true honor to be the host of their very first episode of the series of Tech Talk. And the topic of today's talk show is Dynamic Pricing Unveiled, navigating opportunities with artificial intelligence. And right now, can you guys feel that the Christmas is coming to every corner of our city? And can you guys feel that you see that? Can you feel the Christmas Eve atmosphere over there?
Yeah, I feel like very exciting. We can hear the sound for the Christmas song over in my ear. I feel.
Right, and I can see their Christmas tree over there too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great job. And I have the Santa over there. And now, so today we bring to you a really hot topic that related directly to our wallet and our Christmas spirit too. So now, just picture this, and you are like scrolling over your smartphone, searching for online shop and for the perfect gifts for your beloved one on their Christmas Eve. But suddenly, the prices of all the items just change, and you have no idea of what is happening over there. But luckily, today we have Mr. Phillip, the CEO and founders of Investidea, a leading firm in the consultancy of the field AI, fintech, and edtech too, right? And he will be the one who reveal the secret hide after the curtain. And right now, so let's say hello to our knowledgeable speakers.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good
And right
afternoon,
now,
Daisy.
so let's say hello to
let me
our
here today.
knowledgeable
I'm very excited
speakers.
to join in the talk, and it's really interesting to talk about the AI and machine learning we've been saying everywhere.
Yeah.
And the topic today is a little bit seeing that how shocking because it's talking about the dynamic pricing matching correctly with the e-commerce that we are searching for. And I would love to bring today the message from us as a one who working in such an interesting topic is we believe that dynamic pricing will be a game changer toolkit for the e-commerce, for the logistics, and on the other brokerage business model. And hope you will enjoy the talk today.
Oh yes, and if I were you, before we start, I will grab my favorite drink and maybe a piece of paper to note down some important information or some question bumps into your head. Yes, and right now, let's get started. Okay, to find out, to explore the potential of AI and also how it shaped our businesses today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before we start, can you like review a little bit about yourself and what brings you here today?
Yeah, okay. So my name again is Philip, and I'm not coming today as the CEO of Investidea, but I'm more coming to here as AI lover.
Mm-hmm.
So starting of my life is when I was a kid, and I already joining a class for optional mathematics, and that's why I really enjoy learning mathematics.
Yes.
And in the last 5 years, when in my company was start on the data and data science fields, and we first touched AI and machine learning, and I was really interesting that I discovered that the data science is need help a lot from the mathematics fundamental.
Yeah.
So suddenly I fall in love really quick with the AI and machine learning from that day, and that's why Investidea and me myself so continue to do more deeper and deeper research, and we're coming with dynamic pricing today, and hopefully that will be something that we can share for you today.
Oh, wow. Okay. So as you shared, you're just like an AI lover, right? But do you have any experiences or a twist that led you to the field of dynamic pricing?
Yeah. So one of the memory that as I always remember in my mind is back to 2009.
Yeah.
When I was still like studying French,
Oh.
and I'm as a student, I'm searching for the flight, two-way flight from Paris to Hanoi, and I need to find the one that's a budget, the most budget, right?
Yes, of course.
As a student, so same for everyone. Then I'm searching and searching around, and luckily I already found a good airway that I can be able to fly from Paris to Hanoi with half of the price.
Wow.
And yeah, that would be a secret I will reveal today and share to all of you.
Oh yes, of course. I'm really excited to hear your secret because I haven't had that experience before. Like buy something which is just a half of the price.
Yes.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's discover it.
Yeah. So so I do the same experience today. So you can see that with the same experience I did 2009. So the site I just mentioned earlier is lastminutes.com.
Yes.
So let's try again today. So I try to ticket for the same Paris Hanoi two-way for 1 week for one passenger. From tomorrow for 1 week.
Yes.
And then you can see on the screen that we having the flight ticket with Qatar Airways, and the price is around $1,000.
Yes, $1,000.
Okay? 1,000 is okay.
Yeah.
But the interesting part is you see from Qatar Airways is the airline business, right?
Exactly.
So I come to the direct booking website from Qatar Airways.
Yes.
And you can see that with the same of everything, and I buy the same ticket. But the price finally is expensive more than 25%.
Yeah. Wow.
25% of the one that I buy indirectly.
Oh,
wow,
yes.
That's something crazy, right?
Yeah, crazy.
Not logic, right?
Yeah, directly with indirectly.
And the more if I try to refer to the other airway, like such as Vietnam Airlines, it's still in the economic ticket.
Yes.
And you can see that the price is double. So meaning that my experience from the past of 2009 until now is still the same experience,
exactly.
right?
Yes, until that we have that right now too.
We have that now. This is one that I do just before the talk and searching around.
Yeah.
You can do the same experience with this. And the question raising is why, right?
Yes.
So why we having direct one for providing the ticket? Yes. And the indirect one, and we have another airway, but the price is dancing a lot, right?
Yeah,
from very low to very high.
Double.
Double.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys may be having the same question about which are the things that may impact to the price,
and then
right?
how it's like happened to you, maybe. Yes. Okay.
And when it comes to deeper understand about the way that ticket price show up for everyone.
Yeah.
So maybe it show up to your screen, to your PC, to your laptop, and show up to my laptop. Maybe the price is different, even that we're searching for the same things.
Wow.
So let's moving on, seeing some of the example of what will be the factor that will impact to the ticket price.
Yes.
Right? So you can see on the screen,
I'm excited
they're really
to see.
clear. Right? We're having a season.
Season?
A season meaning that if you travel on the holiday season,
like Christmas,
it can cost you more, right?
Yes, of course.
And you see the oil price, of course, that will be the main key for the airway ticket.
Wow.
So we have a distance. The longer you fly, the more expensive you need to spend on. And one of the things you may be seeing not logic in here is the time of your purchase. So meaning that if I try to book a ticket and I leave there for 10 minutes, I take a coffee and come back, maybe the price change.
Yes, and if I was you, I will be like, oh, what happened over there? I will be like that.
So there will be a moment that you may be a smile because the price maybe go down, but you may be a little shocked.
Yes.
Yeah, you wish to do it sooner.
Yeah, of course, exactly. I will.
Yeah, so it come more and more seeing that it's not just this list of the factor that may impact the price. So there are more thousands of the other factors.
Wow.
And that is the most complicated system over the world. The people building very, very long times ago.
Yes, exactly.
And that's very now even that you are in the airline business, but you cannot be able to explain why now the ticket flight is this much.
Yes, this
No
much.
one can explain, right?
Yeah.
The secret behind.
Yes. Okay, with more than 1,000 factors, yeah. Wow, it's amazing. And I
Yes.
think I cannot like calculate all of them at
Oh.
one time. I cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a result, you can see that why people working on this, why people build this
Yes.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Very complicated. So you can see that the secret is behind is because of the airline business. It's the most challenged business over the world
Yes.
because their margin is just around 5%. 5% you can see is more for budgeted airways such as Vietjet or some.
Oh, yeah.
But for the more luxury, maybe there will be less.
Less.
So you dealing with the business with 5% of the margin is very touch if you are the CEO or the member board.
Okay.
So I think that's the reason why it's impressive people to build the dynamic pricing, because the more you can flex and adjust your price based on the market and demand, you can be able to have more control in your margin and in your profit. So that's the reason why the dynamic pricing were born.
Oh, wow.
And you can see it's not support only the airline business because they can succeed in controlling the margin, but they also bring to us as a consumer. So we have more choices. So with the one who want to choose the option of budget airline, so you can come with a very, very low and fine for us, right?
Yes.
And the more here is you can be able to see that it's create the big market of the ticketing, because when a lot of the SME, the company, just there to have the consumer to find the best option and the best flight. Yeah. So that's a win-win-win, three-win situation.
Win-win-win situation, exactly.
For everyone.
Oh, yes.
And the behind this, of course, that is the main topic that we talked today is on the dynamic pricing. And I showed to you today is the first dynamic pricing, very first dynamic pricing system. And it's was born and since 1990. Oh, it's even like before I was born.
Yes, of course, and much before the time I was born. Okay, and like see, so it can be the trailblazer and the first player in that game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and I see like, do you have any other? So it's just in the aviation or other businesses that can apply that approach.
Yeah, I think same to me. So I think the other people, the other business also seeing the success that dynamic pricing bring to the airline business. So that's why you can see here as three very like famous branch that is success in controlling their dynamic pricing system. And there will be more 1,001 and nowadays is applying the dynamic pricing.
Yeah, sure.
Let's start with one by one. So you can see on the left the Amazon.
Yeah.
So Amazon is a giant on the e-commerce.
Yes,
everyone knows. So it's on way the top one for many years. And that it's not like why. Maybe the question is why they are on way the top number one, right?
Yes.
So the one.
Yes,
because I think from Amazon they having claimed their services as best price at any given moment.
Yeah.
So meaning that they having a system as a dynamic pricing that changes the product price every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes?
Every 10 minutes.
It's a really short time.
And that's the time that they can commit to the audience for on their consumer, that on way the customer need to come to the Amazon and on way having the best price. No other side provide the better price than Amazon.
Yes.
So that's the key that they want to offer to the customer.
Yeah. And
that the success from Amazon when in applying them, they can boost their profit to 25%.
25%? Oh, wow.
With the revenue of a giant e-commerce, and you see that the profit increased to 25.
Oh.
So we cannot imagine how big
the number it is. Yo, wow. So if I have that number, maybe I will be a billionaire, I think.
Yes. And you can see next to Amazon, there are the other new unicorn that's heavy succeed on dynamic pricing. So you may see the Airbnb. So they have also similar function, and they call it smart pricing. And if you have as a property owner and you have an account in Airbnb, then there will be a on and off feature over there. Then you can be able to configure your property to be on using smart pricing
Yeah.
or not using smart pricing.
Wow.
And the number showing with the comparison of the one who turn on
Yes.
the smart dynamic pricing,
Yes.
having a 4-time booking retrieving than the other.
Yeah.
4 times.
4 times.
And then, of course, the revenue that the guys, the property owner who turn on the dynamic pricing,
Yes.
having more 12% of the revenue.
Yes. Oh, I see. If I am the employer of Airbnb, I will like turn it on all the time, 24 hours, like 7 days a week, I think.
Yeah, and I think the other example is will be like very famous for everyone because we use it every day.
Every day.
So of course, when you see that you book your taxi and from the distance, even the same distance, but the different weather, the different condition, you may have a different price.
Yes.
And this is the one that help the Grab to increase the income for the taxi driver, and of course increase their profit as well.
Yes.
And the numbers they're like 25%.
Oh yes, I think that I know the Grab situation over there because when I was in my university, I booked a lot of like bike, not taxi. Yeah, and like due to different time or different like time of the day or the distance, it's like the price just like different all the time.
Yes.
I booked. So I think I know that. Okay, know that case.
So I think one more secret is that I think the key weapon that Grab, Uber, and some similar business can win the game with the traditional taxi. You see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yes, exactly. And let's see. I see like 25, like 10 every 10 minutes. 4 times and 12% revenue increase. I think these are really like impressive number of a business. And when they like try to run their business, right? Yeah. And I see that you have just mentioned the let me see, the airline tickets, right? The aviation field, and I see that it starts using the dynamic pricing strategy for many decades, right? So why just until now the dynamic pricing just go popular as we see right now? What's the reason?
You're right. Because if we're taking the first dynamic pricing, it's back to 50 years ago.
Yes, 50 years ago.
50, 50, okay.
Yeah, it's
amazing. And the guy that you are just saying, Amazon Grab, is about like 15 to 10 years ago.
Yes.
And nowadays you can see that why starting to having more dynamic pricing, and they're more call to action that we need to have in dynamic pricing right now. So as you can see that we've been like starting from the ChatGPT was launched, and we can see the power of the AI pressing out for every individual people. Everyone will know that. So you can see that is eventually the good reason, the golden time nowadays, because AI, there will be have more open source and the ready to use AI system over there. And that's easy to do a plug that you can put on and with a very reasonable price and cost to build it. Because if you need to compare with what Uber invested in the dynamic pricing, so you can imagine they will build a team of hundreds of people.
Wow.
Okay. And all of them, that's a doctoral degree.
Yes.
And the cost for earning that, paying for those team, and also the time for recruit, that's numerous of the team member.
Oh, wow.
It is very expensive to invest on.
Enormous amount of money, I think.
But in compare with now, as today, so I believe that the price to set up an AI model that is a very reasonable price, and even I can see some startup already can build their own dynamic pricing. A simple one that, but is very good to them to scale and sustainable their business.
Oh yeah, sustainable. It means you can use a very, very long time, right?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And the other I can see that for you, as you can see that is we are living in unstable world. Then the market is unstable as well. Yeah. And we need to dealing with those unstable things like we're showing every day. You can see that it's such as the oil price for this year, so it is up and down a lot. And the lowest one and the highest one is almost like double. The highest and double the lowest one. And imagine if you're running a business and you're keeping a very flat price, then the possibility that you adjustment on the chains is not much, and that's will be bring you the risk on your business.
Yes, of course.
And you can see that the more and more people searching for the AI and dynamic pricing, then maybe your competitor already apply dynamic pricing.
Yes.
So you have a lot of competitor in your business.
Yeah.
Then I think dynamic pricing will be the good key that you can protect your business, protect your cash flow and everything.
Yeah, so I think that if I have a business like this, I will like use the dynamic pricing strategy to make sure that I can run faster than my competitors, I think. Oh, yeah. So like, let me see that. Can you show me like about the potential of growing of this field of dynamic pricing in the future? Will it be just a hot trend right now and it will stop in the future, or it will run in the long run?
Yeah, I think that's the good key that we need to see the trends on the upcoming years.
Yes.
So study about the AI in general, you can see that the speed of AI being spreading over the business is about 50% every year, 8 years, year to year. So starting from 2021, and that start to keep that speed to lead. And then reaches more in detail on our hot topic today's dynamic pricing. So you can see that the answer from on the SaaS business that's on way say yes. And 98% of them to say yes, and they see a lot of positive result with the dynamic pricing.
Yeah.
And you see that it's just like 2% left.
Yeah, so of course I won't be in that 2% if I have a business.
Yeah, and then the other survey that we can see on the Statista, you can see that by 2021, they're already having 36% of the e-commerce. So eventually e-commerce is the best scenario to use the dynamic pricing. And I think the number now in 2023, around 50% already for North America and Europe. So now as we are in Asia, maybe the Asia is a little delayed the other, but I think that is a good trend, the golden time to start dynamic pricing now.
Well, and I do believe that it will soon reach the number of 89% like in SaaS business, right?
Yeah, soon.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. When I was a child, I had a dream that I just want to be the CEO of a lipstick company.
Wow.
Yes, and right now, I just pretend that I have a business. And now, I just want to find more information about like dynamic pricing. So can you like provide me a bigger picture of the dynamic pricing to let me understand more about this, and I will have a like better decision later, I think.
Sure. So I think we'll start to jump in.
Yeah.
We are ready to jump in the dynamic pricing now.
Exactly.
Right? So let's start step by step. And the first we need to come over the definition, of course. So you can see dynamic pricing. So as you can see and call it as surge pricing, demand pricing, or time-based pricing. So in the end, that is a revenue management pricing strategy that you manage your flexible price for the product or service based on the market demand. So you can see more detail as you having on the left is static on the flat price.
Yes, flat
and
price.
On the right, you're having the dynamic price, which is you're having 5 different points of the price, depending on the 5 different situations of the demand from the market, right? And you can see the blue area over there is your money.
Oh, wow.
So you see with the static pricing, your square is just that, right?
Yes.
So you have nothing if the demand is less or higher.
Higher, yeah.
Okay, so it's on white. So you just have that square.
Yes.
But when you having the dynamic pricing and you have more point of your price depending on differences of the demand on the market. So of course you can see the area of your blue in the right is much more bigger than the one you have on the left.
Yes,
right?
Of course, I see. And I have more choices to decide, right?
Yes.
Here, if the demand is less, I can I can raise the price up. And if the demand is like more than that, I can like lower the
You can
price a
sell
little bit.
mass with the small with the cheaper
Sell
brand.
mass. Wow,
Sell
that's
mass,
a word.
right.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So our profits will be from this, maybe into this.
Yeah, correct. And so let's giving an example that we can see how
Yes.
the dynamic pricing system
I think it's
may
needed
do,
right now.
right?
Yeah.
So doing that's a very interesting quizzes for you.
Yes.
So giving the context that we are in the business of buying and selling the second-hand or the used motorbike. So you have a good motorbike over there, and your business every day in searching for the second-hand motorbike and buy it, and then you do some maintenance, you repair something, and then you sell it, right? So normally the deal of the business is you need to define your buying price and the selling price, and everything in the middle is your money, right?
Whoa, in the middle.
So you, of course, you want to lower down the buying price and you can raise up your selling price. But how to do that? Because you need to deal with one by one different buys every day, right? So you need each buy having a difference. Thing changing everything, and then how you can guess the good price to buy and the good price to sell.
I think that's a big question to me, and I think it's really difficult. So maybe I will take factors that affected the price, and maybe the criteria or the situation of the bike, and like synthesize it into a Excel sheet or something. Is that?
So let's do a small game, because we can see everything around the motorbike are the factor, and we think that it's will impact the price of the bike. And in this list, we can share it in this list that we have a 3 factor that is not impact anything at all to the price of the motorbike. So let's, audience, you can try to guess which are the 3 factors that not influence anything at all for the price of the motorbike.
Oh yes. So
maybe Daisy, you can guess.
Okay, let me see. I can guess. It's a little bit difficult to me. Let's see. But our beloved customer, you can like log into your YouTube account, and then you can comment your answer on the chat, and maybe we will reply you sooner. Okay, let's see. I will guess the first one is the previous buying price, right? That don't affect, right?
Can you say why?
Oh, because I'm not the owner, I'm not the employer of the company. So how can I know the price, the previous price? Maybe the seller just fixed the price for me.
Okay.
Yes, and that's not a good deal for me, right?
Makes sense.
It makes sense, right? And next, the second one is selling reason, right? Oh yeah, because of course a motorbike is to move for a long distance, I think. And the third one is the total distance. Yeah, because I don't care much about that. I just care about like, is that beautiful or not? Or like, can we run smoothly or not? But I don't care about the total distance.
Okay, okay, I noted well.
Yes.
So Daisy come to us with 3 options that her choice.
Yes.
As total distance, previous buying price, and selling reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take yours, and we will see the answer on the next slide, right?
Let's see.
Let's see. Wow.
Oh, I got.
So congratulations, Daisy. You have a 2 on 3.
Yes.
Correct answer.
Wow.
And
pretty good.
The only difference is the using purpose and the total distance.
Oh.
So the using purpose is something that we buy the motorbike for certain thing. But I think that, of course, it will not impact anything at all to your bike, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, no matter what you use for any purpose, but the price there. So we just care on the bike.
Oh yeah.
And the total distance is normally the number of kilometers the bike already run over the times.
Yeah.
And I believe that it does impact to the price, because if you compare with 2 the same bike, one with 100,000, one with 1,000 kilometers, and the other is 10,000 kilometers.
Wow.
So of course, the one with the 1,000 normally have a better condition than the one who drives so much.
Oh,
been used so much, right?
oh, I see. So I think that I will take that factors into consideration if
Yes.
I buy
Yeah.
a car.
And for sure, the previous buying price and the selling season doesn't affect on the price because the market demand may change a lot from when
Yes.
you buy it to
Oh.
now.
Oh.
Then it's just using as a reference but not impact anything at all.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What?
So let's see on the screen left on the blue color, you can see that those are the factors that impact on the price of the motorbike.
Oh.
However, that doesn't easy as this small list because in the real world, when we working with a partner on this business, they doing a very detailed business on assessing the price of the motorbike. And the keyword here you can see on the condition, current condition, for example. So how you know that the current condition of the motorbike is good, accepted, or very bad, right?
Yeah.
So our partner at Secret, they having a very complex system for assessment of the checklist for a motorbike for 200 different criteria to say if the bike is good or not good.
200 factors to decide the current conditions.
Yes.
200. No.
200. Yes. So that's as detailed as possible. So that I believe that 200 is the key for them as during the run on the business. They are the one who discover that.
Oh yes.
And that's the secret of their business, so that they can be able to provide the good buying price and the good selling price and maximize their revenue and profit. And I think that's a key of the succeed on that business.
Yes, okay, the secret sauce for that, right?
Yeah, so you can see that the more you are right on the factor, so the better business decision you will make to apply the dynamic pricing.
Oh yes, and I think the better customer service too, because you know much about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay. So, from that example, I think I just understand just a little bit of AI dynamic pricing. And so I see your example in the logistic and e-commerce too, the big name, right? But how about the other businesses? Like which business are like suitable to apply their dynamic pricing?
Yeah, that's true because we are seeing that all the technology is just a tool for your business, right? So it depending on your business. So sometimes you need to use this tool, sometimes you need to use the other tool. So each tool will always having the pros and cons differently.
Yes.
So let's see what should are the compatible business for dynamic pricing. So we can 100% agree that e-commerce
of course.
is a good is a good business to apply dynamic pricing because you're dealing a lot with the price every day. The customer come and buy you, and every income come from the price of the product. Right? And the other thing you can see is just near on the e-commerce is on logistics like Grab, Uber, some van business. So they need to have a way to optimize the inventory and to giving an estimation on the shipping cost from the place A to the place B, right? So that's the key because the more they having a control on that cost, the better they can optimize their cost and the business. And the one thing that is just were born in the generation in the age of Uber and Grab, we call it nowadays as a brokerage business model. That is some keyword saying that you running a business which is a middleman where you are matching place for the consumer and the provider. So you are the one who buying the service or product from the provider with the buying price, and you are selling those provider those service and product for the consumer. And you are the middleman, and you can play with the buying and selling, and you maximize your profit. So that's why the dynamic pricing is best suited for these three business models.
Oh wow, brokerage business model. Yeah, I think that new to me too. Yes. And so here e-commerce, logistic, and brokerage business model. So how? So here is a bigger, just like a business, a big field, right? But how about for the specific company? Like how they can decide if they should use the AI dynamic pricing or not. How can they decide?
Yeah. So you eventually like just one slide with 3 category, but each of them has a very diversified of the different company, right? So even in the e-commerce, you might have a lot of business model in the e-commerce,
yes,
right?
of course.
So we more like when we're working with a partner, we come to I think the list of 10 questions actually, but in short, we can mainly based on these three one. The 3 1 that's giving you the answer as you can say yes or you can say no to the dynamic pricing.
Of course.
Very key question to ask. So you can ask yourself if the customer, your customer of your business will be okay for non-static price, meaning the dynamic price. So for some of the e-commerce business, maybe they more care about the customer service and the loyalty. So that normally they will keep the flat price. So to offer the good loyalty and consistent to their customer. So if you are working in the field and you want to keep a stable pricing and your customer are already familiar with that, so you don't need to change anything. If your business need to having a big jump, then you need to maybe considering, but you need to understand your customer first in order to apply dynamic pricing or not. And the other 2 questions normally is your company market is even like it's a niche market. So you need to identify if your company having a significant market on the pie, because if you are owning just a small pie of the whole market, right? So if you try to change something as a dynamic pricing, then as a small impact that doesn't impact anything at all on the total picture of your niche market. There, that doesn't bring you any advantage on those changing. So you need to having maybe a significant place in the market or in your niche market, so that your change will set the rule for the other competitor, and then you can advance by using dynamic pricing.
Okay, so but maybe if I apply that, I'm not a market leader at all, but when I apply that, maybe I can be the pioneer in that niche or something.
Of course. And then they're always having a award prize for the pioneer.
Yes, of course.
Risk but opportunity.
Yes, high risk, high return, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now here are there like 3 questions that we have to question our business first before we apply. Oh yes, but if I'm a employer, if I'm the owner of the company, I will be a little bit like I have to like take a lot of factors into consideration. I will wonder about how about the challenges. I see the potential and I see that it's prevailing and it's like really a good chance for me. But I just wonder about their challenges. Can I encounter with this, or is that too big that I cannot deal with or something?
So I think that we step by step we open page by page for the dynamic pricing.
Exactly.
So we already see the definition, we already see the example, we already see if your business is suitable, right? So now we're going to see more as a challenge and the benefit. Okay, challenge is on way there because on the tool, on the system have a challenge to deal with. And during our 5 years working in the field and support our client, we highlight from our point of view is 2 big challenge that we need to deal. So the first challenge is on identify the price impact factor. So you can revise on the game that we just played for the motorbike. Even that is just like 10, 15 factor, but we're still a little confused about which is the factor that impact, which will not impact. Right. So I think that to just like take a list and say yes or no for each of them is already something that we need a lot of the knowledge. And normally when we're running with our customer, so it's required the 3 big knowledge to identify correctly which are in and which are not in, right? So we more like from the market and the demand understanding to see which factor is good impact or not. And we need to understand the customer, you need to understand as well your competitors.
Um,
So when we're doing like this, we're normally seeing that for some of the businesses already been operating for, I believe that about 3 to 5 years,
oh,
the answer may be more accurate
yeah.
than the new startup.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Yes.
And the other challenge you can see as the next is the lack of just data.
Mhm.
So now even like we know correctly which are the factors that we impact to our product price,
Yes.
but we need to collect the data about those factors. Then that we can be able to identify the price. And eventually you can see we are living in a world that the data being created every day.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
we even don't know that which are the good data, which are not good data.
Oh.
And then when we do collecting, the challenge is how we can identify which are the data that we can trust and which are not. Right?
Yes,
So
sure.
there are a lot of work in the ground, to filtering out those trusted data. It's
Yeah.
very important.
I see. Yes, with just a click, you can have like 1 million results or something. It's really hard for us. And I see that we have the time of 3 to 5 years and 6 to 12 months. I think it's the game for the long run business, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
right.
if I wanna start right now, I have to start right now, not
Yeah.
like okay. And I see that. Oh, but our beloved audience, you don't have to care much about the challenges, okay, about the impacted factors or twisted data, because I do believe that the benefits will outweigh the challenges, right? When you can overcome all the challenges, you can get the benefits. And now can you review the benefits? Too?
Yeah, the benefit will be sure because
Yes.
from the first slide, we already see that how airline business, how Amazon, Grab,
Yes.
and other
Yes.
business can very succeed in their business.
Mhm.
So let's see the benefit. There are a lot of benefit we can say, but you can see in the picture of the four main things that we can see. So as you business you are running, I think mostly you are controlling and dealing every day with the two number, right? So the first is how much the cash in your wallet, and the other is how much of cost you need to pay, right? So you need to have the revenue and the cost. And you can see as a benefit from dynamic pricing, you have all the benefit on control those two things. For controlling the revenue, so you're having a benefit as controlling pricing strategy, because given that you having a different strategy of the pricing, then you can gain more in your revenue, right? So you can maximize the revenue.
Yeah,
and then of course they also bring you the great flexibility, because you are running very well, but suddenly they may having something change on the demand market. Maybe, for example, another COVID-19 show up.
Wow.
Right? So if you having that flexibility in using dynamic pricing, so you can be able to avoid, or you can be able to reduce the impact from that things will be happen. Right? So that's the two things that you can have to maximize your revenue.
Yes.
And the other, you can see that you are having a good to optimize your costs. So you can see that you can save company money, your operation cost, thanks to dynamic pricing. Because imagine you having a business that you have a lot of the storage, inventory, and that's cost you every day that space to just stop your product, unsold product, right?
Yeah.
And then with dynamic pricing, you can maximize so that you don't need to pay much on the inventory, because you can sell very fast. And it helps you to reduce the inventory costs. So those are the things that you bring up full benefit of controlling your revenue, and as well as controlling your costs.
Wow, it's exactly as I believe that, because I see now we have four benefits, but we just have two challenges, so it's just outweighed, right? Yeah. And the thing that we have to care about, like every business care about, is their money in and money out, as you said, the revenue and the cost. Yeah. So I see that the dynamic pricing can optimize that as much as possible. Yeah. And right now, it's really cool to apply, I think. Let's see. So how about, is that hard to apply or not, or is that easy to apply? Because I see we take a really long time.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So as you can see that, so now on the company using dynamic pricing, you can see that is, of course, I need the team to
Yeah.
having on the competency to build the system, right?
Yes.
But well, our experience in working in this field is for 5 years, so I believe that we can give you some hint and some advisor so that you can build it easier.
Whoa.
Yeah. So if you wondering about the step to implement it, so on the screen you can see that we categorize them as a 5 step,
Whoa,
so that you
5?
can go step by step
Yes.
to do it. And each of them will need to have some consultant, so we are open to support you here.
Yes.
Let's go together, right? So on the step number 1, normally it's just a game that we do for the motorbike.
Yeah.
First thing first, the key is you need to highlight the factor.
Yes.
The factor is important.
Yeah.
Because you know why? If the factor is wrong, then we are putting in
Yes.
something that is not affect to our price.
Yes.
But as we are putting in,
Mm.
then it affects to our price. So the accuracy of the system will be very, very large.
Yeah.
So we cannot be able to having a good accuracy in your model.
Ooh.
So by doing this, I think that's the keyword of the management of the company, of the business, need to very carefully list it out on the factor and have a lot of the brainstorming to shortlist a factor that is affect to the price.
Wow. Okay. So.
And I think they see you can do it well because you just like having 2 on 3, right? So
2
you
and
close.
3. But maybe in larger scale, I just have got their 66% of accuracy, right? So my system will die or something.
No, but I believe that it's depending on how you run your operation, your business, right? Because we're seeing as the challenge that it's not like you don't do anything on your business, but you just like paper and pen and you list it down. It's really that you need in running operation for a certain years.
Whoa.
And understand indeed your
Yes.
market, your business, your product, your price.
Yes.
Then you can come with a list.
Come with the list and fix it and adjust it, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Then move on to step number 2.
Yes.
So imagine that we already have a good list of the factor, right? So now it's time to collect the data. So the collect the data here is not only the data from the public, but also the data that you already have in-house, like your performance, your transaction, whatever the product you already purchase, you already sell, and the price, and you collect more from the public, right? So here more challenge, I think that is starting to collect the data as we need to collect with the good volume and with the clean data.
Yeah,
right?
wow.
So the volume is important because you know that our system needs to be reflect the real market. Because if you're not taking the good volume of the data, then your data is very narrow.
Yes.
And that will give you a picture, a very small picture of the market.
Yeah.
And that maybe bring you to some wrong assessment and wrong decision. So for example, on the business that we are doing right now, so for example, for the motorbike, so we are seeing that in the public, there are 100,000 bikes is selling in Malaysia. Okay, and then every day we have a 10,000 more bikes showing up. So new pace selling by, new post selling by, new post selling by every day.
10,000. Wow.
So when we do data collecting, we need to make sure that our pool can be able to retrieve maybe from 70 or 80% of those data in the market. Because if you're not there, then your data may not bring you the good picture of the product.
Oh yes.
So it's very lot of the work over there for the data engineer to just crawling the data every day.
Yes, of course, and it's like will be much much more difficult if I just do it by myself. I think.
Yeah, there will be an automation that you need to do.
Yes, okay, system. I need a system, of course.
And then after you having the data, right? So remember we have a challenge on categorize the data. So mostly the key important that we building the system, if you need to build a very good accuracy system, right? So the accuracy as a key.
Oh yes,
Yeah. So if you build a system with not a good privacy, then you cannot be able to use that, and maybe that will bring you the negative result. Then at the 3 step, it's important that we clean our data and we just bring in the model with the trusted data. You can verify. This verification step is very important, and it needs to be because you need to deal with a high volume of the data.
Of course.
So I believe that you cannot be able to put human resource there and check of the data. Right?
No, of course. Maybe it has a 1,000 factors, like
or
maybe more than 200 factors. Of course, no.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
So you can see that is the step that we start using the AI machine learning model, because here is a good place for the machine to prove their trend.
Yes.
And you can see start from this step, we already having the AI machine learning model to help us to categorize the data. And they can filtering out which are not untrusted data, and we bring in the trusted data.
Yes, great job.
And that's the key. So now we have a clean data, right? So the last step that we are coming with the price is we're building the machine learning model so that it can suggest the price. Or one thing is more amazing that we can do with the historical of the data is we can be able to forecast the price as well.
Forecast the price?
Yeah,
sure.
It's not bring you only the price for today, for this week, but we always predict you the price for the next week, for the next month, or the quarter.
Wow, a quarter?
So I believe that for the business owner, if you can predict things, you can have a good decision on the business.
Of course, sure. But if it can predict like that at that time, but well, how about in the next time we have some crisis, or maybe we have the COVID-19 again, what will happen?
Yeah, so it's more depending on how long on the history you can be able to collect on the data. So as our system nowadays, if you can be able to collect a 12 months data, so you having today and for you have the same data point last year. So you can have a long of 12 months. Then you can be able to easily predict for the 2 and 3 next month. Because you can base on the trend of the year, because you see that the market is maybe changing with a yearly round, right? So it's what is happening now, maybe it's a more similar one what happened on last December.
Last December, or like at the period of time. Right?
Okay. But I believe that it's not be able to identify any risks coming, because
of course.
It's unsure, right? Unknown thing. But because dynamic pricing giving you the flexibility, so even that happen, but it will bring you the flexibility that you can adjust and flexible go through that crisis.
Oh wow! Oh really? Go through that crisis?
Yes.
And can we use that system like forever, or just or do we have to add in some information or some data?
Yeah, I think that is saying as a last step. I think that's very important, because the tool and the tech we are using nowadays is not a tool that we can use for permanent, because we need to having adjustment from the running, from the operation. And I think that the key, because when we're working with many different partners, so I cannot say that we are doing a good for all the partners, because we need a good collaboration with the partners. So some partners can participate very well, and we can do a great teamwork on the operation optimization step. Then the system that we build for that partner with a very, very good accuracy, and that will bring a lot of benefit to the business. But if the operation step is not really running well, so the model accuracy maybe are not good. So that's why we need more time to adjustment, right? So I think that step is really need the good know-how, and also need the time to adjust on the price.
Oh wow! And I think that in that step it will create the differences between businesses, right?
Yes.
When we build the same system with the accuracy data, with the same accuracy data, and now in the future we have to adjust it, and that will make the difference between
the business. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So imagine that we're having a same on the system until the step number 4, but the optimization is different, so that will bring the different model, of course. course.
Oh, yes, exactly. I see. So we got 5 steps. The first one is the factors identification. And next, the step 2, data collection. Step 3, remove untrusted data. Step 4, pricing suggesting. And of course, we have to maintain this and we have to adjust it, optimize it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And I see I think that I can see the whole process from their definition and until now is the steps to implement. So, do you have any businesses that you apply that model successfully and you are proud of it, like your tribe or something?
Yeah. So of course, because that is a business that we are running for 5 years. So
5 years.
we are lucky that we have a chance to working with some of the partner, which is very, I think, very soon in AI and machine learning. Even that is before the ChatGPT was launched. So 5 years ago, it's a key that we're working with 𝐒𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐤𝐿.
Yes.
So it's a very interesting partner, which is providing the fashion trade inside product services. So their client is Nike, Adidas, Puma, all the brands about the clothes and fashion.
Yes, they're a famous brand, and I got shoes of from Puma.
Oh yeah. So now you know that Puma and some of the same brands are using 𝐒𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐤𝐿 as a platform.
Yes, I see.
And what it does is from the sale and Nike, Adidas, Puma, and other clients are providing 𝐒𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐤𝐿 some of the traction data on the product and sale and price and everything. And from 𝐒𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐤𝐿, we as Investidea, we also joining our member and collab with the 𝐒𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐤𝐿 team in order to provide the system which can suggest the product price for not only like now, but also for the quarter and for the next 6 months.
Wow.
Because you know the guy on this giant brand here, they already having like more than 5 years or 10 years of the data.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because they was in the market.
They just existed a long time ago.
Yes, and that's why the data giving them more strong to dominate the market. Because if you are a new brand, you cannot be able to compete with the guy with already having 10 years of data.
For sure.
Yeah, and then we also can be able to provide the market insight and other things. So I think that is very interesting project that we start as the first AI project that we did in Investidea.
Oh wow, great job. Yeah, I see that amazing and it's like quite impressive. And I can see the data when it was showed on the screen with a lot of diagrams, and it will be much easier for us to adjust and
as
to
a
manage,
manager,
right?
As a manager, I think that those are the screen that will give you an insight and you can make the good decision from the analytics.
Oh yes, sure.
So though on the screen you can see that two recent project we are still in working, and on the right side is 𝐏𝐫𝐨𝐠𝐫𝐚𝐦, it's an online learning in domestic Indonesia, and just like Udemy, so they provide online courses for all the students from K-12 to student to the employee. And then what we do a small part in there is to providing the dynamic pricing for the online courses. So sometimes you can see some of the very budget online course you can jump in for the student, for example. But sometimes there will be a hot topic and hot cost. So eventually we can sell it with the higher price because it's very unique.
Profitable.
Yeah, so maybe that you have a once per year for the live stream, for example. And the left side you can see is actually the one that we talk a lot during this topic, because I believe that it's very like imaginable example that everyone can understand, because you see it familiar with your daily life. So we are working with them as viewing digital their whole platform to be electronic and digital for now, and using to fasten the business, and then they can be able to scale more.
Okay, so can I ask that how long have you run that business? How long?
For how long the business on the AI dynamic pricing?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's 5 years ago when we started.
5 years. For 5 years. Yes, exactly. It's a long run. It's a long run for all of us. Yeah, and I think that you are really proud of it, right? Because you just take the example with a motorbike, and now, okay, yes, Great job. And I know that platform too. I motivate.
Mm.
Yeah.
Those are one selling in Malaysia and they are jumping into Vietnam.
Ooh.
So by next year, you may using that for buying or selling your bike, for example.
Great job. Okay, and I see that the field of AI is really big, and sometimes I don't know, like we refer the AI like all the time, the Chat GPT,
It's AI.
yes, AI, and other thing AI too. But now dynamic pricing is an AI too. But can you like tell me where the dynamic pricing is in the AI field, the bigger picture like this, and where it is?
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I think it's funny because everyone talking about AI and machine learning, right? I think it's a key word, but imagine that it's like a pool, a very big pool, right? So I believe that people swimming on the pool and maybe they don't really in deep on knowing like which are the zone of the pool is they are using. So they are using something, but they not know that which part of the AI machine learning will be for their tool or their services. Okay, so you see the four zone of the pool.
Yeah.
You may be interested. So the first one is a machine learning. Yeah. So normally we do AI / machine learning, but actually the keyword is AI in general, and machine learning is just a subset of the AI. The other three other set as well.
Yeah.
So machine learning, we can still call it as a predictive AI, where that is a group of everything that we can building the algorithm based on the input data.
Based on the input
you have a data and you're building the algorithm to giving you some output.
And you have output over there.
Yes. Okay. And the second one is deep learning is much more difficult because you are working with a video, image, and on the other kind of the data.
Yes.
And there where you can need to use our next level of the AI is a deep learning. Deep learning is something is even stronger than the human being.
Yeah.
And then you can see that some of the product you may use, for example, the OCR, meaning that something that you take a picture of your invoice and then it track you the text of the invoice.
Wow.
Or you capture your ID card and that brings you all the information, its name, address, and everything as a text, right?
Okay,
so
this
that
is the scan.
The scan things.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so now you know that it's in the deep learning zone.
Yes, of course, I see.
And then you see the object detection, so meaning that some AI camera on the road, and then you capture something and you say that it's chair, it's a bike, it's something, the object detection. And you guys may be familiar with text to speech or speech to text that can convert the text to voice and voice to text.
Oh, the TV and their laptop.
Yeah, so on the audio books, for example, so you don't need to read the book, right? So you open it and there will be a voice to help you to read the book.
Oh, that is
And all the thing that you are talking to the AI is based on the text to speech and speech to text.
Yes.
Everyone, maybe you are already using ChatGPT and the other chatbot as bot and something.
I'm using it.
Indeed, it's a LNP, natural language processing. And in the subzone, they can call it like large language model.
Oh, large language
model. So the ChatGPT is there.
Yes.
In that zone.
Wow. Now I know.
Sometimes you are working in the marketing field, you generate the image, the content, and everything. So using Midjourney, using some generation, right?
AI picture too.
AI picture, right? Yes. So you type something and it will bring you the video or the image.
Wow.
So that there, the generative AI is there for the deep learning.
Creative too, right?
Yes. And then you having two other is more generic. So you have a robotics. So you see some robot just walking and help you do some stuff or automating. Yeah, so that is a robotic field. It's need to having the integration with the physical devices as well, all the control and chip. Yeah, so that is robotics. And you also having the expert system, which is mainly using in fintech company or banks because they need to having the things that to running to making decision ability to the question.
Yes.
Wow. So now you see the big pool and the four zone of the AI. So maybe Daisy, you can guess yourself from all the thing we discussed from the beginning until now.
Yeah.
How you can think that dynamic pricing in which field on these four?
In which field and form? I think that I will guess with our audiences. And let me see. I remember you said that machine learning, you got the input and then input data, and then you have a like processing system, and then you have the output. And I think that is machine learning. Is that right?
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I got
You're very
100%.
good with AI, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. So you can see now if you are talking on the dynamic pricing.
Yes.
So in the field of machine learning,
Yes,
or we
right.
can call it predictive AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're right, because we're using a lot of the data.
Yeah.
And we're trying to categorize the data, seeing some insight.
Mm.
That data can give us some output.
Yes.
And our output in this example is a price.
Oh wow, exactly. Got this. Okay, so now our beloved audience, you guys can see the bigger picture of AI, especially for the dynamic pricing, and you know the definition, the step to implement, and now you know the position of dynamic pricing in AI bigger field. So, and it's time, it's for the really important part, it's a Q&A
Yes.
part. Yeah, so now, so can you you can grab a waters when I see the question from the customers. Okay, customer, if you have any question or you have some problems that wanna solve, you can type on the chat so that we will answer you like immediately. Let's see. Okay, I can see our customers that are waiting for the Q&A session, and let's see. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, I see that. Okay, the first question, I see the question from the girl named Regina. I hope that I call your name right. She just asked you that. Why should I consider applying dynamic pricing?
Oh, okay. Hello, and thank you for your question. So I think when you are asking about considering dynamic pricing in your business, so I think that will be two factors that we need to very careful and considering. So the first factor is your market, right?
Market.
So when you're running a business, your market normally, as we are seeing nowadays, the market is changing a lot. So you may know very short. So I told with my team, normally we are seeing a plan for the 3 months and the 6 months. But maybe from now on, it's very difficult to predict something in the next year or next 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
So that's why as the dynamics, as the market is changing a lot, then dynamic pricing will be your weapon so that you can be able to having all the flexibility of adjustment for those change to have you a good revenue. And the other factor need to consider is your own business, because your own business and your own customer. If your customer willing to having the price changing, and if the two things you can say yes, then I believe that you need to consider dynamic pricing in your business regarding all the benefit that will bring to your business.
Oh yeah, so Regina, I hope that the answer from Mr. Philip just satisfied you, okay? Okay, and now let's see. I see that the next question is that, why should I consider applying Oh no, that's the first question, and I see. What are the best practices for setting up dynamic pricing?
Yeah, thank you. That is a good question. So, well, giving the 5 steps that we're working on, so we believe that the first best practice that we are considering when we apply dynamic pricing is we need to work very well together to on the step number 3, and that is to clean the trust data, to clean and having the trust data. The reason why is because in the general machine learning we working, we always aim for a high precise.
Yeah.
So that's why, again, one more time, we are seeing that the best practice is when we're building the system on the step number 3, we are really do a lot of the tests so that we are verifying the data that we're fitting is a just data. So on that step, normally it will take time for us because normally we don't do it once. We need to do it, and you need to test it very well and again many times until you having all the output as just data. So the best practice we are saying here is you need to working on the cleaning data very carefully, so that we having a good input of data where it will bring us much more easier to having the accuracy, high accuracy system.
Okay, so the first thing first is the accuracy, right?
Yes.
And the second one is the adjustment.
Adjustment.
Yes, great job. Okay, so I hope, let me see, move on to the, okay, I see one question from Mr. Thành, and I see that it's quite interesting. Is it, building AI is so expensive, is it impossible for SME?
Okay, I can agree with you, but it was 2 years or 5 years ago.
Yes.
So now, as I can see that some of the partners come to us, it's just a startup and small SME, just like you.
Yes.
But I believe the price to doing so, to set up the AI model such as dynamic pricing, it doesn't cost you as much.
Yes.
Because we are seeing that when we building the dynamic pricing right now, as we are building the cloud, we can be able to using the cloud with very budget and acceptable cloud, because that doesn't cost you much. You don't need to set up a good PC with a strong of the CPU and something. You can using the service on the cloud, which is have you to optimize based on the time you are using. And the second is we are not revamp the things, right? So normally when we starting any AI dynamic pricing model, we don't start working from scratch, because that will cost you very much.
Yes.
So normally we are starting with some of open source that is already there. So for machine learning, everyone may be very familiar with skitlearn. It's the largest open source library for the data science.
Yes.
So we only get the benefit from there. There are a lot of the model that is already there, sharing to public, and then you can take, and then you can put on the adjustment by yourself and building the model with less time and less cost. So I can say with you is a very yes for dynamic pricing, even for the SME. And after that, maybe we can discuss furthermore on your business, and we can help you to giving a plan that is most suitable for your budget and also having the dynamic pricing.
Oh yeah, so Mr. Tang, I see that the question is like quite great, right? Because right now it is really possible for you to set up the dynamic pricing system, and with the help of some agencies, right? Yeah, so I think that that's the answer of Mr. Philip, and I think that Mr. Tang, he just said like, okay, for you. And now, so okay, and I see one question from Mr. Duc, and he's just asked you, what type of business should consider dynamic pricing?
Okay. For the type of the business, so we can be able to identify the business based on several criteria, right? So back to our sharing ago, so we are saying that the three category on the business that is most suitable, but maybe other of that three maybe still good for apply dynamic pricing. So I don't know much very detail about your business yet.
Yeah.
But if you see that your business is on our three category, for example, like e-commerce, logistics, or anything as a middleman, as you are brokerage business product. So we are confident to say yes on dynamic pricing. Furthermore, we can exchange on the three questions that we push on the slide. So you checking on your peer competitor, checking on the market, and checking on your customer. So if they are on good to apply dynamic pricing, then the other answer for that.
Yes.
So we can have you the full list of the 10 questions by Investidea, so we can send you the full list to be more confident about your business. But from now on, I can say that it's yes and yes for your business.
Oh yes, okay. So Mr. Duck, I hope that you satisfied with the answer. And if you wanna have a more have a further discussion with Mr. Philip, you can ask him because we will have the contact of you like at the end of the program. So just wait until the end. Okay. So here, okay, I see okay, I think this one will be the last question for us, and I see it interesting too. The question from Jack, Mr. Jack, he's just asked how long we can apply this dynamic pricing for SME company. Do you have a scope model like time, effort, or money?
Yeah, okay. I think that would be very go into detail question already, right? So we are seeing that the question is more from what and how, but now it's very precise on what to do.
Yes.
Thank you for that question. So we're seeing that from our experience, we're working with the client. So that's why we define them as a 5-step. So we're not doing that in one project. For running, it's completely in the short term because it's a long term. But we don't need to spend much time or the big team on that long run because at the step 1 and 2, you can see that step 1, we don't need to bring any expert to jump in. We just need to working with you, have a more brainstorm and consultant with you so that from your team, yourself, and as you are the best understanding on your business, right? So we just there to help you to do brainstorming for complete step number 1. So I can say that it will cost you 0 on the step number 1.
Whoa, right? 0?
And the second one is on crawling the data. So I believe that we just need 1 or 2 engineers to help you on the time of crawling the data. It depends on how big volume we need to reach so that we can define the timeline for the step number 2. But normally we are running around 3 months or 6 months for just 1 or 2 resources for that period so that we can collect the data. It doesn't expensive that big, right? The key thing is now is starting from number 3, number 4, and number 5, right? Because in there we need to bring the expert on AI and machine learning. And normally from outside, when we try to bring out something, we don't want to bring with the 6-month project because that will take a lot of time, and then we are building something that's very complicated, and then we need still to adjust by the end. So what we are doing is normally we scope the project by 2 or 3 months only. So then after 2 or 3 months, you can have the first version of your model already. And you can be able to start adding in your platform to test it. Right? So at the beginning, we can go with the hybrid model. So some product we turn on, some product we not turn on, and we compare. And even with the same product but a different size, we can turn on some and turn off some and to compare and adjustment. So that's why you may have in 3 months of building and 1 or 2 months of adjustment later on. So the total time, if it doesn't count the collection, it's around 3 to 5 months for that dynamic pricing, and that doesn't cost much because that not involve much of the people.
Okay. So like for the total time, so it is
about 3 to 5 months.
3 to 5 months for the total time from the step 1.
We don't count the collection because normally the collection will run a hit as a phase 1, and then the phase 2 is just focusing on the AI machine learning.
Okay, so like total phases will.
The total phase will take around like 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months compared to 3 to 5 years, as you mentioned before, is much shorter. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Jack. I think that it's a really interesting question to go deeper into the field that Mr. Philip expert on, right? Okay, so he just asked you like, how can we book for further discussion? Okay, so I think that I will like answer that question at the end, right? Yeah. Okay, and now our beloved beloved audience. Okay, we just go through the basic of the dynamic pricing, and now we don't want to, but I think we have to say we are about to say goodbye to you. And before we finish, do you have any messages or a thing to say to our our audience?
Okay. Thanks for your time today to stay here with us with this dynamic pricing. From Investidea, within our experience working on this model 5 years ago until now, and we're still having ongoing customer trust and continue with us on this model. So by this occasion, we're also very open to provide you a 5 consultant session package, and each package will be 4 sessions equally like 4 hours with me and my team, so that we can be able to understand in deep your business, because we believe that each business have a different special approach and unique positions, right? So we need to understand the good on the business so that we can give you a best consultants. Yeah, please scan the QR code and then leaving your name in there so that we can be able to reach to you and offer you more discussion in the deep of the AI dynamic pricing.
Yes.
And the final word for me as a person who are working on the fields in the dynamic pricing in general and the AI, of course, we believe that one more time, it is one of the keyword, a weapon, so that to help you on your business. And we believe that AI will be a good the next NDA for your business success.
Yes, I do believe so. And if I will be a CEO in the future, of course, I will book you a deep consultant package. And I think I will have to register right now to prepare for that.
You are welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so right now, thank you so much, our audience, to stay with us from the beginning until now. But now we have to say goodbye to you. Thank you, and please look forward to our next episode. And so right now, so goodbye.
Goodbye.
And Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.